Thank goodness we're almost there. Hush. You don't have to walk through the city streets in a corset and layers of clothing as I do. Once you start adorning yourself in the same garb, you can then make comments on my constitution. My physique is perfectly healthy for a young lady. This is one area I am positive I have more knowledge in than you. I'm the one who finished medical school. Oh, Middlesex Hospital. Let's go in, shall we? Any inclination where this Dr. Henry Gray's office might be? Then I suppose we will have to just ask around. Oh, pardon me. Oh, what can I do for you, miss? Do you happen to know where Dr. Henry Gray's office is? Dr. Gray? If I'm remembering correctly, his office is up on the second floor. Just go straight until you see these big old double doors on the right. Opens up to his large laboratory that doubles as the doctor's office. Thank you very much. And there we have it. Hopefully this Dr. Gray is agreeable to answering questions. Though, I suppose one looks rather incriminating when they're vehemently against it. Of course, there's always more to it than that, but you have to agree with me that as a standard it is fairly suspicious. Right. Oh, that must be the room. Silly me. I almost passed it. That must be the doctor, the older gentleman leaning over the shoulder of that student over there. They must be studying the muscular structure of that cadaver on the dissection table. It would be polite of us to wait until he has a free moment. You know I'm not too jumpy around corpses in the sort, Holmes. If I was, going into the medical field would be one of the most foolish choices I could make. One cannot simply kiss a wound and send them on their merry way. The medical field is gritty, and if someone cannot tolerate seeing such things, then they shouldn't be there in the first place. But it seems a bit strange to think of a doctor trying to kill someone. When you think of the world of medicine and ethics, most individuals' minds jump to the Hippocratic Oath, to abstain from every voluntary act of mischief and corruption. We are supposed to help people, keep them alive and well, not try to assassinate one another for any reason. I know, it's an idealistic thought, but I'm just confused. We understand you must have a packed schedule, Dr. Gray, but we were wondering if you could answer a few questions regarding one of your colleagues, Dr. Goldfire. Apologies for the lack of introduction. I am Dr. Watson, merely a companion to the true inquirer, Sherlock Holmes. I'm sure you know of him.
A pleasure to meet you. What were you looking to ask me?
When did you meet Dr. Goldfire?
Well, I met Dr. Goldfire when I was working at Charing Cross over 10 years ago.
And do you consider him your friend?
I'd think so, yes. If not, our relationship, if anything, is professional.
What were you up to on Saturday night?
I was simply at home. What is all this about?
Dr. Goldfire told us about his recent work concerning the subconscious. He believes he can detect killers-to-be through analyses of a set of questions.
Why, that is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. George Todman Goldfire would never spout nonsense like this. Just as I do, he believes that psychic issues are organic in origin. You must be mistaken.
Unfortunately, Doctor, he told us directly that he used this method to create a list of names. 1 out of the 4 attempted to kill him. And your name appears on this list.
I am a doctor. held in high esteem by my peers. This theory is the most foolish thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I refuse to believe that it is the work of Dr. Goldfire. I suggest you take these foolish theories and accusations elsewhere. Good day.
That went fairly awful. What do you mean that was enlightening? All I saw was that we peeved him greatly. I suppose we will discuss this on our way to Dr. Gilbisco. It'll be almost 45 minutes by carriage anyway. More than enough time for us to convey our thoughts. Let us be off. Hopefully Dr. Gilbisco can be of more use. I know, Holmes. There was still value in what Dr. Gray said, but to me it feels like it was hardly anything. I don't understand how you can grasp so much from so little. The carriage stopped. We must have arrived. 46 Tower Street. That's it. Thank you for the handout, Holmes. May I help you? All right, I'll take you to his office. Apologies for bothering you, Dr. Gilbisco. We'll talk then. What is your relationship to Dr. Goldfire? We're colleagues, and we've worked together on occasion. Do you two get along well? I would think so, yes. Our approach to medical work is different, but in the eyes of the layman, that's hardly important. Could you tell us what you were doing on Saturday night? Why are you asking? Mr. Holmes was hired by Dr. Goldfire. He believes that his life may be in danger. Did one of his patients threaten him? No, a colleague. Another doctor? Yes. Dr. Goldfire gave us a list of names. He believes one of the individuals on the list wants to kill him. Your name is on that list. That's absurd. How in heaven did he reach that conclusion? He explained to us that he had come up with a series of questions, which allows someone to detect the subconscious intentions of murderers. I don't claim to understand. Who sent you? It's certainly not Goldfire. I've never heard such idiotic trash in my life. Goldfire thought, as I do, that organic diseases are the source of mental illness. Tests? The body is an engine. If all the parts are in order, it works. If it's not working, then you must look for the cracked piston. You don't stop to ponder if steel has a subconscious. We don't want to contradict your thoughts, Doctor. All I know is that Dr. Goldfire reached the conclusion that someone wants to kill him. In that case, I can only see one solution. For him to come see me as a patient, and not as a colleague. Good day, sir. And miss. It's the same thing over again. Clearly these doctors don't share Goldfire's theory concerning the subconscious. Truthfully, I thought that the concept of solely relying on questions to deduce if someone is mentally ill or not is rather questionable as well. However, I didn't want to place too much value on my opinions. I know very little concerning the psyche. I suppose it could be considered suspicious that both of these doctors refused to believe Goldfire constructed these theories in the first place. One doesn't make up a theory in a day. It takes time and a decent amount of research. Typically, any doctor worth his salt doesn't just start pulling theories out of nowhere. I was not going to say pulling theories out of his arse, Holmes. That would be unladylike of me. Silence. Shall we make the 5-minute walk to Bethlehem to speak with Dr. Praetorius? I certainly hope the third time's the charm. I don't think I can suffer through another repetition of the same sort of sessions we've been going through. This would be the waiting room, I assume. I'm not sure about your preferences, but I will sit for a moment. You are right. Considering Dr. Goldfire spends a larger portion of his time here, it is very likely we'll be able to gain more insight simply looking around, even if Dr. Praetorius isn't the talking sort.
Excuse me.
Yes?
My name is O'Connell. I work closely with Dr. Praetorius. It'll be no problem to show you to his office if you just follow me.
Of course.
So are you two here to see a patient?
No. Just Dr. Praetorius. Do you happen to know Dr. Goldfire?
Yeah, he was here not too long ago. He works with old Praetorius.
And what do you think of him?
I'll tell you guys. I've been working here for so long that I can't tell the difference between the patients and the doctors anymore. I wonder if some of the doctors shouldn't be locked up in here. Old Praetorius. There's 278 crazies in here. Some believe themselves to be dogs or lions. Hell, we've got 3 Napoleons and 2 bloody Queen Victorias locked up. And what is Praetorius concerned about? Hand washing. My team is made up of 36 solid fellas to be able to handle these people, and I spend hours each day checking their hands as if they were school children. Praetorius lines them all up at the beginning of each shift and inspects their hands. If they aren't clean, they're sent to the sink. Crazies, doctors, they're all the same. The gentleman and the lady are here to see you, Doctor. Thank you. You may go. Where's that bloody cane? What can I do for you?
We work for Dr. Goldfire.
Goldfire?
Yes. He's an acquaintance of yours?
He's been at the team here at Bethlehem for about 5 years now. I've known him for almost 10, and those 10 years... Dr. Praetorius, come quick, sir. What's this all about? It's Dr. Goldfire. He's dead. What? He's in the cold room.
Oh my, he's hung up like the meat.
Get him down from there. I don't think we should. I've sent O'Reilly to fetch the police. We should wait for him. There was a bobby in the street. Shouldn't take too long.
Alright, what's this fuss all about? Bloody hell! This is certainly a case for Scotland Yard. Out. This isn't a place for civilians and the like. Off to the waiting room with you all. Holmes, what happens now? Dr. Goldfire is dead now. Well, of course we're continuing the investigation, but only just yesterday he was alive and... I don't know. I guess I'm simply in shock. This is a much more grisly case than I initially thought it would be. I'm sure Scotland Yard will give you a chance to investigate things. It's only been an hour. Worry not. I'm sure they'll talk with us soon.
My, Sherlock Holmes himself. What a surprise.
Hello, Inspector Lestrade. Is there anything you can tell us about Dr. Goldfire's death?
Now, Dr. Watson, I'm the one asking the questions. And firstly, I want to know what you two are doing here.
Dr. Goldfire retained the services of Mr. Holmes yesterday. We're in the middle of an investigation.
Well, that investigation is over. We found this in the pocket of his jacket.
What? It says, I can't look the world in the eye after what I've done. I'd rather put an end to it.
I had a bet with Gregson that I'd solve this case before he found that murderer of that small crook Bobby Field. I think I won my point for tonight. You stay right there. I'll send over Channing to take your statements momentarily, and then you're free to leave. I'm sure this isn't the last I'll be seeing of you, Holmes. And goodbye to you, Dr. Watson.
Well, so much help that was. Here, I'm sure you can do more good with this note than I can. What do you think Dr. Goldfire was even implying when he said, "I can't look the world in the eye after what I've done"? What did he do? I mean, he didn't seem like a man about to off himself yesterday, though I'm not sure if anyone really has the right to say that. So you also agree that something about this seems strange. That's good. For once, we seem to be on the same page. Are you going to push on with the investigation? Lestrade seems to think that the case is shut, but I have a feeling you don't feel the same. I knew it. Well, as usual, I'm right by your side. What shall we investigate next, Holmes?